Hello, I'm back. And to clarify why I call in my previous few videos as Sati Yoga is because it's according to mythological stories, Sati's body, yeah, was put in about 52 Shakti Pitas. There are about 52 Shakti Pitas in India, yeah, around the world in India. And just like our language, we speak in many languages, many dialects. Someone even called English as pig's breakfast of a language. Yeah. So we have English. I'm speaking in English, and many people have their own understanding by what English is and how they interpret it, because each person have their own internal language. Like I'm saying my is, my language is. Um, Similarly, they think in one language, they understand in another language, they've studied in school in another language. Yeah, mother tongue is something else. And from all of this information, their body is also composed in a particular composition, which is different from another person. So information filters through all of this, and they make their own understanding of what something is being said. So their internal world may be different from how we see the world. Each of us sees the world according to the clarity of our own understanding, of our own body composition. Yeah. And so from that base, we have our likes and dislikes and choices and what we do, what we don't do, whom we interact with, why we interact with, all of that changes. Yeah. And consequently, we have the health, wealth, wisdom of our life. Yeah. Now, why am I making all of this clear? Is because there's a language which I find in English, at least to begin with, which is coming from many languages, many spheres of influence. English formed, for example, even in India, English came because there was a colonialization of the British, yeah, and then there were the Portuguese, and there were the Spanish, and there were many people, and we have English in which we are speaking, yeah. So across boundaries internationally, English is more prevalent because there was so much of colonization, yeah, and because English has had the influence from many countries, many regions, many ethnicities, religions, English has a certain fluidity in language, which other languages may not have had, could not. Over time, we now have more United Nations and WHO listing many, diseases from across the globe from so many civilization concerns. We have something in common. And then we have, oh, English works, doesn't work, my language more predominance, this one needs to get more rite of passage and all that. Now, when you're fighting things, yeah, life finds a way to push back, yeah, and then you would be in a spot. When you're working with life, it's taken a long time for even English to form in which we are speaking. And also economy and different countries and, culture, religion, whatever piece we have, it's taken a long time for us to have this. Yeah. And when we are working with life as it is and we are improving things, we are less likely to get killed. Okay. That's one thing. And another thing is, there's a reason why things have shown up like this. There are no accidents in life. Yeah. Since the Big Bang, life has been finding many ways by which to restore the fabric of time space. Yeah. Some point in time, there were hunters and gatherers. Then agriculture began. Then there's money. Yeah. Now we have internet by which we're communicating. So it's like a technology from the universe, Almighty.Inc. I call it Almighty.Inc. because, well, I'm thinking this whole thing called God and this whole universe thing is an enterprise, like an incorporation, like a company. It's a for-profit company. Yeah. And when we are doing things consistent with, it's taken a long time for all this, for Earth and this whole system, and we have the solar system and galaxies and all of this to form. It's taken a long time. And if you're going to jostle that, yeah, you'll be kind of washed away, like um, like we like an infection happens, yeah, antibiotics and many other things, and washed away, killed, yeah. And when you're doing things consistent with life becoming better, you're more likely to, it's like an incentive. Go on. You have another serendipitous opportunity, somebody talking to you, or somebody just, or a message just pops up on a billboard or an Instagram post or something. You're searching for something on Google, and then you have a particular message, which when you last time searched, it was not the same message. Yeah. So serendipity, they will say. But that's also like the multiverse kind of sending you signs, continue. Yeah. That's more working for us, yeah, versus not, yeah. Now, and then there is, so over time, over about 45 years, I figured out some things, trial and error, and then I discovered don't do this, don't, yeah, what to, better to do, what better not to do. And that, all of that, I'm kind of more putting together here. And I have English as a language that I studied right from my schooling time. And then I thought there are so many languages. Where I grew up KGF, Kolar Goldfields. There are at least 5 languages, including English. Yeah. So Kannada, Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, my mother tongue, and English. And then there is also Telugu they would speak, but people would not speak Telugu so much. They would speak either in Kannada or Tamil or Hindi. And so I couldn't quite learn the language. And then I come to Bengaluru, and then I interact with business networking groups. One of the networking groups, particularly Telugu only they speak. Yeah, their thought lines is all Telugu. And so being in the group, I'm more picking up the logic, the thought lines of that. And then, so India has many languages, so that kind of helps that way. And I am to speak in English because it's a classic model of standard particle physics. I don't know, ecological economics, I'm thinking. Yeah, standard ecology. Okay. I'm yet to find that what word that, standard model of classic life of a template kind of. Yeah. Okay. And I'm to move to the English channel. Like the British, they conquered, apparently, made colonies, yeah, through the English channel. Yeah. And I'm from the East India Company. No, I'm actually from South India. So I'm yet to see how that pans out. Unless India itself is like this word Bharat, and my understanding of Bharat is that which enlivens life in the multiverse, like Earth. Like my understanding of a country is because I'm from a country. Yeah. You're from a country, I'm from a country. The concept of a country, in my understanding, is from the country I already have, from the experience of the country I already have. And the country I am in is India. And so I dot and dash the words, the meanings from the experience of a country that I have here. And this is my experience. Yeah. So in terms of Almighty.Inc, there's a reason why every person is born in different countries, different homes, different situations, because that's their job employment. Yeah. From there, and everybody has a reason for coming into existence. And from that station in life, like that placement in the whole scheme of things, when they start doing their work consistent with why they come into existence, and then they improve their cares and the story and all that, that's when they are more profitable for Almighty.Inc. Yeah. And Almighty.Inc has such a big universe, and we only have life on Earth. Yeah. So it's a vast family estate. Yeah, really big. And we like to see life show up nicely because it didn't work out the last time. And there are coding errors, concerns. Yeah. So now that we have Earth, the way it is, over many generations of discovering which model works, what is sustainable, out of all the planets and stars and many places, we only find Earth. Yeah. And we are all in the same ball of Earth. Yeah. Same ground. And we have a body that's human. Yeah, so that's also something common here. And then we haven't yet as much figured out what does it mean to be human, or what is the shape of a human? Because we have WHO's list of diseases, with people looking at the same body and healing concerns from different angles. Yeah. And I have been facilitating health clinically, biodynamic method of healthcare. I trained in biodynamic craniosacral therapy, and then I studied those concepts in relationship with other modalities of healthcare, like allopathy, Ayurveda, homeopathy, Unani, pranic healing, yeah, Reiki. And then I was saying, what is common, or why do we still have WHO's list of diseases? And so I came up with my own derivations, my own conclusion. This is there, this is not there, this is why. And then we are looking at this way, we haven't seen this at all. So over time, I came up with my conscience. This works. This is like, this is not theory of everything. It's more like, this is how life works. Life works for me only when I live in terms of this. Yeah. And then I discovered Lalita Sahasranama, the Shri Chakra, the Meru Kamba, yeah, Mahameru, and then Maha Yajnas. These are all the book of Genesis. Um, there are so many stories, so many documentations. Science people also have their own particular matters and theories, and there are so many languages. Oh my goodness. And then from all these different parts, different languages, vocabularies, ways of thinking, to put it together in a way that makes sense. Yeah. And in a way that works. And this is the only thing I find works. Yeah. So that's why I said it's a large language model, because there are many facets, many languages, vocabularies. One word is then related in another language and in one way, and then meaning another thing in another language. And there are no contradictions in life. There are no contradictions. But there is a lack of perspective. One system sees the matter from one way, another system sees the matter from another way, and then we have a mosaic of interpretations. So they're not talking to each other, just like sati. The idea of sati is body parts in different 52 Shakti Pitas. So I'm calling this Shakti Yuga, Sati Yuga. Because, okay, as the phase, the developmental phase, the phase by which to bring things together, put the universe, multiverse, okay. We move forward, we don't put it back. Yeah, we're moving forward. Because things didn't work earlier is why there was a Big Bang. And now we bring things together in a way that actually sustainably works. And everybody's watching, because if it doesn't work, they go into, this is contradicting with this, and then, and then again, I go back onto my board. This piece, fine, but they are contradicting, and then go jungle. Yeah. And then again, you see something, don't see another thing. It's like the oracle and the architect and what have you. We have a lot of people in the matrix. Yeah. So we kind of, Sati, there's also Sati in the Matrix, the movie. And so this is Sati Yoga. So we're getting the matter together, not different mosaic pieces. Yeah. In language itself, we have mosaic pieces. Yeah. English itself, when I say karyot, yeah, for example, eukaryote, prokaryote, you understand it as chromosome. Yeah. When I translate it into maize, yeah, I see it as karyam, as in work, karyam, or in that which comes to reality from work done, from the working of it. Yeah, that's how I understand it. And that way, your prokaryote, yeah, you're on the job, or eukaryote, in the sense you're all, oh nice, life is so beautiful, and then you're kind of like the nucleus, having a little boundaries from the life that you have, your own relationship with yourself, and then your relationship with other people, the thing, the whole system is with boundaries. You got like walls. So there's this idea of, hearts closed and then not as much giving, taking, or interacting. And so I'm finding there is this benefit when I translate different ways of thinking, the sounds that we have, in mice, I find there is a prokaryotic benefit, you're pro-life, profit, and then you're working for the profit of the enterprise, health, wealth, and wisdom of the enterprise, or Almighty.Inc. Yeah. And you're having I call it the mighty advantage. Yeah. Where you're having, I call it meristem intelligence, but it's more the discernment of what better to do, when to stop. There is a sign, there's something not, you're kind of, a little junction, something is not quite working, you go back to the board, work through the details. Yeah. Look left, right, left again, and then make sure the right, what you saw is the right. And then take sufficient steps, yeah, appropriately. So you're more having that prudence. Yeah. So that is also what I call a spaceship. Yeah. Or rather, okay, life ship, a life. It's taken a long time. People are still looking for, life. So this is life on business. Yeah. Me, life on business. Life on business through me. We all have a me inside our different identities. Yeah. Each person, each human being at least. This is a human concern. So I can talk to humans. When I learn doggies, catties, planties, then I will start talking in that languages. Yeah. But right now we have humanese, or rather, we haven't yet arrived at humanese. We talk English, Hindi, Kannada, German, Russian, all kinds of language. We don't talk humanese. So I'm thinking maybe, some of this will then make more sense as humanese or mais. Yeah, because each of us have our own language by which we see the world, my worldview, and maybe this will translate to your mais, and then it will say, this makes sense. And then it becomes easier for you to be a prokaryote, where the whole stories of life just comes to one DNA, one strand, yeah? And then you live your life from that one DNA. There's a DNA to your life. And then you'll work life from there, rather than so many things and getting tangled between one strand of story, another strand of story, and then this story tangles with somebody else, yeah, somebody else's version of it, entanglement, and then you have quantum physics and all of that. It gets weird, yeah, I know. And then you don't understand love and life and reality, and everything goes, yeah. Yeah. So I thought it becomes easier to just share this bit in terms of, and why I'm calling it a Sati Yoga. So when our language is more coming together, I call it Shabda Kosha Shuddhikaran. Our language, like in yoga, they say Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manonmaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. I think there is a Shabda Kosha that makes it clear or not about all of this. Yeah. So you could say Pancha Shat Pita. So language that then makes all of this accessible or not. So our language may have been not making yoga as much possible. Yeah. And then we have so many languages by which we even see this idea of God in our own ways. Yeah. So we keep praying to God, but not getting saved, salvaged, because we don't know how to put it together. Yeah. How to get our boats together, our Noah's Ark. So that then we are nicely sailing through the waves of change and all of that. So row, row, row your boat gently on the sea. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. So we can have our hallucinations and all of that stuff. And then to have our eyes open and live life while there are dreams, to also contain that in the boat and then work it through. Yeah. We have Titanic, the ship of dreams. Yeah. And each of us have a male and female aspect to our human body, to our human nature. Prakriti Purusha, that way. So we all have our own Titanics. Yeah. Ship of dreams. And then to have our life work, to dock on land. Yeah. And then build our castles from the foundation being strong enough. Yeah, otherwise we are on sale and not quite coming to Sthira Sukhasana, having a stable. Earth has 7 continents. I'm thinking air, water is the 8th continent because our body is at least 60% water. So what contains our life is the clarity of our water. Yeah. So, and then we talk about Ashtanga yoga and, Ashtalakshmi and 8 kinds of wealth. And I'm thinking 8 goals. Lakshmi means 8 goals. And 8 goals is what Ashtalakshmi is. So then you have a stable octopus-like. Yeah. You have so many limbs, yeah, by which to stably hold the ground. And then you have other developments. You have other numbers from there. So you have 0 to 9. So we have at least 8 there. So when we are kind of stable there, even. And then we have infinite numbers from there. And it takes some math. It takes some algebra, geometry, arithmetics, or other. It's also like something like arithmetics. Arithmetics. The meanings we make of life. And the grammar and the math, the calculations we make from the arthas, the meanings we make. So Vedic text, they talk it as Ardhanarishwar is what I heard it as. Now I was thinking, yeah, that makes sense. Male, female, all nature, nurture, prakriti, purusha, that way. That makes sense. But that's the bit of information I got when I was contemplating on the matter. Ardhanarishwar is the bit of information, dot of information I got. And then I've been making stories and meanings. Oh, yeah, this makes sense. It makes perfectly sense. And on my board, on my conscience, things began to start coming together, but in a better way, in a way that makes sense. Yeah. So singularity, plurality, and all of that makes more sense. We still have work to do. And now I got to know it is Artha, Nara, Ishvara. Artha, Nara, Ishvara. Artha is also meaning. Artha is also money. Nara is like, here you have N-O, Nara, that the body, the human that forms from N as the base, yeah, from as a substance, nothing in particular, yeah, and then improving nothing, that is important. Otherwise, the ground goes, you got to keep improving nothing, yeah. So you're coming to stabler earth, yeah, that way. Earth. E, earth. Earth also has a meaning there. E-A-R-T-H, Earth. So when we say e-commerce, yeah, a commerce is also from the meanings we make of the values we have and how we dot and dash the values. Artha. Artha Shastra. And you have an E in front of it. Yeah, who would have thought? This also I got to know a few days back. I woke up like, oh my goodness. Yeah. So e-commerce, Artha. So this is like Almighty.Inc on business. Yeah, life on business. I am putting together things and me making it available to you. So you also can have a healthy, wealthy, wise life. Yep, you're pro-cariotic, pro-life, and profitable. You can be a pro, and then you're like, where in the hell do you think you're going? Yeah, but you don't know your head or tail. So you need to find your board, your management information system, yeah, in a way that's visible for Almighty.Inc on what you're doing. So we can look at the matter and this works, this doesn't work. A lot of work. Otherwise, we have the Big Bang. It's a very expensive matter. Yeah. Creating this whole thing called life and reality and universe and multiverse and what have you. We got a lot of words. Yeah. It's a very expensive thing. Just consider what amount of money and many resources it takes to just grow a human being from a baby to being of any value. Yeah. In such a way and grow in such a way that others don't want to kill you. Yeah. Lot of care and it takes a village to grow a baby. Yeah. And it takes a baby to grow a village. There are also people standing with guns. So because lots of babies in different shapes and sizes and age groups and gender and ethnicities and oh my goodness, we're all on the same planet. Yeah, luckily, thank God. Yeah. Otherwise, can you imagine? Oh my goodness. And then what does it take for everybody to be healthy, wealthy, wise, grow? Yeah. Without management concerns. We got to get our dots and dashes together. Yeah. And then, so Earth, e-commerce, e-earth. Okay. Now, Almighty.Inc is a for-profit enterprise, and we are all on Earth. So what does it take for us to be for profit? Adding for us to be profitable, profit. I will now is all he's also getting our language together. One thing, Shabda Kosha, a language base. I'm calling it the universal language of life. But for that, we need to get a universal language. It's all got lots of words. I will clean the board and make it clearer. I will also make PowerPoint presentations, Canva based. If I can make a live thing, so as it becomes easier for you to see the matter. But okay, right now we have this. It's like I'm from the um, tablet ages. You're putting down together. You used to see writings on the walls and caves, so not that much. We still have this board system in schools. Yeah. I will come to the technological advantages. Let's say, okay, so universal language of life. When we get our words together, Shabdakosha together, we would have more the universal language of life. And for that, we would need to get the universal language of love first. Because our idea of love itself is many-stranded. Our cares are all over the place. We care about, we don't quite get our cares together in a way that we say one life, and we're juggling with, this, that, and that also. Yeah. And then not have any of the balls drop. And there is a system. Yeah. So things are getting better, has been getting better since some time. Now, so I have a language by which I put this together. So I share this little by little using Canva, because on the canvas of life, to make things more clearer, visible. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And then once you're able to see the language, and then I also have numbers by which I start putting things together and call it the math of true love. Okay. Truth math? Okay. I can't say math because the full word of it is mathematics. So we don't really math. My world, ma and th, like health, degree of ma, degree of m. M is also M for money or vitamin M. That's also there. And human, you have two sides, left and right. M is like two ends put together. And the heart is like two ends put together. So when you see the heart and you see M, and you're not stuck with just money, money, then you have a life that's not only based on money, where money as the artha, money as a meaning, as a value that's formed over time, has two sides to the coin. Yeah, light and dark. To make our day and night work and profitable. Yeah, work in such a way that they are complementary, day and night, like heaven and hell. Yeah, they're working together. Otherwise, one of the reasons for the Big Bang. Yeah, because they got a little between the sukha and dukkha and the sur and asur. Yeah, so between the yellow light photons and dark photons. So one way to look at it. Yeah, so which is why we're coming to movementless yoga, but we are in the sati yoga right now. Okay, in my scheme of things of how to enlivening life in the multiverse, I'm in the sati yoga. Yeah, and then we have Parvati yoga, and then we have Bitha yoga. Yeah, where we come to two, light and dark, me and my partner, keeping it together. Yeah, not going into me voice, you. Right now I have a Jaya Parvati Vrata. I'm it's like there's this idea of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. So I have been putting things together and formed this book of life. I'm still documenting the handbook, making it, but I have a system of putting it together. I'm still working on the details. But meanwhile, Nekka me deri kaisi, why wait to do a good thing? So I started teaching. Once we begin getting the language schema, it becomes easier then to, when you see the book, I've been talking to different business groups, but they couldn't quite understand what I'm saying. What are you doing? And I'm saying healthcare. And my idea of healthcare, of what I'm calling as healthcare, is not fitting in their ideas of what is healthcare. Yeah. So, because the human body hasn't been seen the way I'm seeing. Yeah. So, ergonomic challenges. So, I'm just talking about my worldview, and then we'll all begin to start getting our Lego pieces together and see the elephant, the human, at least, what it is. What, why? We have 14 questions. Yeah. Sri Chakra has 14. The outer circle triangle has 14 triangles. So we have at least 14 questions there. Maui's, yeah, Moana Maui. Maui had the magical hook. So we have 14 there. And the questions have answers. So I'm saying 14 sounds of life and 6 levels of silence, stillness, nothing. And we are still coming to the basics of the matter. Yeah. It's like the umbrella. Yeah. Lalita Sahasranama, there's a temple here of Lalitamba, Bhagavati, Devi Kshetram, many goddesses there. There I found an umbrella that has 6 parts to the umbrella. Now I'm thinking, I have a basics here. Yeah. So we'll at least hold on to the basics. And then my worldview has 12, 12 part umbrella. Yeah. A month has 12, a year has 12 months. A clock has 12 hours for half a day. Yeah. And when I studied anatomy and physiology of a human being, there's a school of health. It used to be called the School of Homeopathy. They made available an education to study anatomy physiology. And according to their categorization, a body organs are categorized in 12 organ systems. So I got another 12 there. So serendipitously, this is how my construct of reality has come about. Yeah, it just makes it easier, convenient, organizable. Yeah. So we will come to the basics, and then it becomes easier for us to see the 12. So we have one life, 12 areas of life. Life book, for example, Mr. John Butcher, he has a life book series, life book program, in which he categorized in 12 areas. And then 2 areas. There's life vision, and then there is the quality of life has material quality and experiential quality. So that makes it like 13 kind. Then I was thinking, okay. Yeah, and then I was thinking 13, 14, 13, 14. That's how I came to 14 sound. And then I discovered our ribs. There are 12 ribs. Yeah. And then we're not counting clavicle as 2 ribs. Yeah. So that makes it 12, 13. And I'm thinking the 14th is here. They call it the Manikantha. So there's like a voice. I've been thinking I'm like a person in the valley of the region between the head and shoulder. Yeah, here. I've been thinking, so I arrived at the thought some few years back. I was thinking, so I'm a person. Then over time I discovered there are 2 parts to me. Yeah. So he included me as a bone. Yeah, like here, in between the 2 clavicles here. So that forms the 14. And then, so there is 14 plus 14. Yeah, so there's, okay. So 14 sounds of life, at least I'm one half of a person, like the heart. Yeah, one half of a person. And then I have my complementary partner. And right now I'm in the one half version. Yeah. So I'm single. And then I discovered I'm actually married to life. Yeah. Right from birth. And people don't have this perspective of a human body. So I've got lots of education. So my book of life is not how global economy or ideas of health, wealth, wisdom is functioning. Yeah. Even the Sri Chakra does not quite talk in terms of that. So and this is my learning over lifetimes. We're still studying about the soul and spirit and all of that, yeah. So we'll cover all that, yeah. All that is covered here. Lifetimes, incarnation, and the Avatar, movie Avatar, and then Pandora. I'm thinking Pandora is like before the Big Bang. Yeah, and then things work, some things didn't work, and then we have Earth. Yeah. So rebuilding the whole scheme of things. Yeah, it's taken some time. We've been doing some work, and now we're here. You have the internet by which to communicate across boundaries. Yeah. So my 14 sounds of life is like one half of it. Yeah. So I told you it gets a little better, gets better. Yeah. There are more numbers and math and all of that. It gets better. Yeah. Yeah. We will talk about the basics. So I'm going to pause now. We can make the matter more clearer. I will use technology. I'm going back and forth, I know. But that's also something to be addressed in what I call as healthier natural breathing. Humans have two phases, like inhalation, exhalation, like Greenwich Mean Time. They calculate that by, I've been told there is it's like an atom or something that moves between two poles, two spaces, two poles. And that's how the pace of that is how time is calculated. So we have a standard by which time is calculated. And they can't quite figure out why is it moving at that pace. Yeah. So it's like a heartbeat. It's like there are related matters. Yeah. So similarly, I'm thinking like a breath has an inhalation and exhalation phase. Yeah. So human beings being part of a system like this have crests and troughs, yeah, ups and downs. And then to manage through the ups and downs is how we don't go through Kubler-Ross change curve, where you go, yeah, and then now what next? Yeah, okay, not like that. So there's a stabler way by which to move. When we kind of have our system more, we're less likely to be, yeah, and more stable. And then life is watching, yeah, when do I shake, and when I shake, what happens? Yeah, because I formed over time to this to the stability that I have. And life is, you better decide, that stability is still fine, things are working. And then while I'm moving, talking, and things are changing, and then what would have me stabilize? So there is that feedback mechanism, yeah, in the DNA life feedback mechanism. So since how many years have I been doing this? 2013 is when I started clinical practice. And since then, in the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was a light. Yeah. And then and God saw that the light was good. Yeah. So it's like that. So, and then there is the whole book of Genesis, the whole Genesis story. So I came to be, and I'm seeing things, and then why are things like this? And then I started figuring out what works, what doesn't work, different methods of healthcare, and we're talking about the same human body and WHO list of diseases. So I looked at what is there, so over time from there, this has formed, and life is still watching. What am I doing? How is this beneficial? Test of time. This works, this doesn't work. When do I go shaky? And when I go shaky, what happens? Okay. So all of this research and development is happening by Almighty.Inc. Yeah. So then I better talk. And when I'm talking, how is it being appreciated? So there is the Buteyko breathing. There are many people who have come up with health improvement perspectives. And then it's about how much it worked, how much it didn't work, how is it showing up. So there is feedback mechanisms. So I'm paying attention to those details to the extent that I'm getting feedback, and not just killed. Yeah. Let me know. I work on details. Something is not working, then I figure out why is it working or not working, and then what would have it better work. And I listen. I actually also pay really close attention to critique details, fine details. And then I work on my board, and then I talk with people, interact with people, and then we make things better. Yeah. So there is this schema that is formed, this has formed. Yeah. My conscience has formed over time. And then we improve our own conscience, and we have a better world, and we live in life in the multiverse. Okay, we have a happily married, happily ever after, healthy, wealthy, wise life. Okay, there's at least there. Yeah, our whole economy and ecosystem is to have marriages work, because a family is the second smallest unit of a society. A human body is the first smallest unit. And so, village to grow baby and baby to grow village. So, for-profit enterprise. I hope this makes sense to you on why am I doing what am I doing and what are the benefits for all of us. So, those who invest contribute in making the world a better place to live in. Yeah. Every effort at doing the right thing count in the whole scheme of things. I hope this gives you a perspective for how we are all placed in the whole scheme of things on Earth. Yeah. And we also, we have our idiosyncrasies and our odd behaviors and ways of thinking, but we're getting better. Yeah, we're getting to a better place. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this has been of value to you. Good day.